Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about resistance and how to push past resistance to get to the beautiful place of healing. Healing is such an interesting concept and word in our culture. We often think that we will heal something and then we never need to look at it again, like it's something that is needed to be crossed off a list, and that isn't how it works. We are constantly healing in layers, healing multiple things at different times, and we're always healing something until it needs to be looked at again. Think about triggers in your life. Often we can think about something that bothered us when we were 14 and we've done lots of really good work on it. We feel like we're okay with it. And then perhaps our own daughter turns 14 and suddenly we're having to look at some of those old wounds again. It doesn't mean that we didn't do the healing in the first place. We absolutely did. But now new information has come to light and we're able to heal it at a deeper level. We often find these through triggers. Triggers are gifts in this way because they're areas of our lives that show us that something still can be progressed and worked on. When we think about resistance in context to healing, this is often the point where we're about to make an amazing breakthrough. We're ready to grow, we're ready to move to that next layer of healing. But our ego says, oh, stop, it's too scary. The costs are too high. People are going to think things differently of us. We can't do it. We just can't manage it at this point. And this isn't our higher self speaking. This is the ego speaking. And it's trying to protect us and stop us from doing something that it perceives as putting us in a threat. So any change in our lives in any area, even good change, is often seen as a threat. But this is also the point where if we break through just a little bit, we can manage to live in our full potential. It is also a false sense of protection and security, because the more we resist the pattern, the more we resist the healing, the more we resist these things that we don't like in our lives, the more they continue to repeat over and over, get bigger and bigger. I noticed this in my own life facing my own autoimmune condition. This was a result of many, many years of pushing things to the side that I didn't want to look at. And it kept showing up in a larger and larger and larger way until suddenly it was something so terrifying, I had to look at my past trauma and patterns. So the point of resistance is really the breakthrough, but it can feel like throwing yourself off a cliff, when in reality, you've already climbed to the top of the mountain and you just need to take one tiny little step further to see the whole vista in front of you rather than plunging from the top. It can be really, really difficult to welcome resistance, but it can help to at least recognize that it's there. The more that we recognize it, the more we can start to recognize this as an exciting and scary growth edge. Now, this doesn't mean that we need to keep going and pushing past the point of resistance, because of course, then that creates just more fear in our systems. We need to find this very fine balance between resistance and being in flow so that we can get to that place we're all looking for. It can really help to do self-soothing techniques like deep breathing, positive self-talk, recognizing that ego, getting out in nature, taking breaks. And alternatively, if we push too far too fast past that point of what we can handle, then we end up going into overwhelm. So we're really looking for that sweet spot in between. I'd really ask you to reflect on what are those really uncomfortable growth edges that are that point of resistance in your life where maybe with just a few small, minor pushing forward with some courage and bravery, you can get to that place of healing. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I truly appreciate it. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you have any requests for future topics you would like me to cover, please leave them in the comments below. We'll see you on the next video. Consecutively, and when we heal something, we continue to heal it until it needs to be healed again.